So On24 likes to use these words intelligent engagement. And I love those words. I don't think that's trademarked or anything unique to them. But I'm curious, what strikes you when it comes to the various ways that this is going to provide you opportunity and benefit?
Yeah.
Where do those words intelligent engagement touch down for you?
Yeah.
Maybe before an event, during an event, after an event.
Yeah.
Pick your starting spot there.
Definitely. And I would answer that question and kind of go back and preface that from those kind of different levels of where AI can fit into the picture. Again, you've got that initial level, you've got that higher level, and then to your point, even a third level that you were just talking about a minute ago, Roger, kind of in that spectrum. So if we're talking about initially providing product or efficiencies to your campaign, let me put it that way, automating your workflow is obviously a very big one to begin with, where 90% of what you're setting up on a webinar platform you've already done 20 times, and almost every platform out there does have an ability to clone an event or copy of it or whatever it happens to be, but that's a very basic kind of higher level function. Again, I think pretty much everybody has that, where you're not having to recreate the development wheel of setting stuff up and putting it together, and setting up your event to look the same as it always has. You can provide that via templates and have that be smarter as a way for you to use your time. In addition to that, and this is where AI also would start to come in, is that we're going to be talking a lot in this session today, but even more so, market segmentation. And what that really means is you as a marketer being smarter in ways that you connect with who you're trying to get to your event. And so, just as an example, um, if you have a wide ranging event and you've got potentially CIOs on the call and you've got IT personnel on the call, it would be really smart to be able to design your system so that it is able to detect what camp either of all of your registrants come in on, and then even potentially dictate and serve up relevant content depending on what side of the spectrum they're on. So if you're an IT person, you're going to get served up content that is very specific and relatable to you as an IT professional, which is completely different than a CIO. It goes
I
back to
think
data again.
one thing. I mean,
Right,
A/B
right. I
testing
mean,
on web pages is not a new idea, but sadly, in the world of virtual events, we still haven't really had what you were just
right,
talking about, which is the
right.
ability to
Well,
go, oh, based on X, Y, or Z, I detect that you are Y, and I'm going to serve up a different reg
therefore,
page to you, or
right,
something like that. And
right,
I realize that
right.
some of this may actually end up being kind of maybe forward leaning, right? We don't, please, if you're listening, don't take every one of these things as something that On24 can do today, or frankly anybody. But this is where it's going, right? It's kind of like the
Right.
workflow part that you were talking about, right? Everybody has the ability to copy forward an event, right? I
Right.
created this event and now I want to reuse that and maybe even call it a template where so that I don't have to redo all my branding and all of the stuff that I had already taken time to do. But what about when that intelligent engagement takes it to the next level and maybe says, "Oh, you scheduled this on, September 3rd. Do you realize that that's a holiday week?
Yeah.
Do you want to
Right.
do that in a holiday
Right.
week or
Yeah.
whatever, right?" And
Right.
and so the potentiality for you being better at your job, or being smarter, some of that's going to touch down for you as the kind of the program owner. Some of it's going to touch down for us as the producers, right? If you Because as you get more
Right.
strategic, then knock on wood, maybe you consider outsourcing the production to a production crew like us.
Right.
But both serve to help you be a whole lot more effective and efficient at your job. So
Right.
there's a
Exactly.
thousand of those little things that start to touch down
Right.
in the
And
detail.
that's that first level, right? That's that first level of how do I become smarter and more efficient with my time, but also potentially growing into that where I become better at my job. Better at my job because I'm utilizing a tool or a product that has AI integrated in it, because I have either better data or more insightful data that I can act on, or I'm even segmenting that out and being proactively more efficient as I'm looking at nurturing those leads. That's exactly it. And that's why, again, not a commercial to On24, but it is impressive that I think that the ability and, the aha, the hallelujah moment, of like, let's just figure out a way to segment our audience. Okay. And I'll program that into my system, and I'm going to identify my segments that I know I'm going to hit. And I'm therefore going to be able to serve them up different content during the event. I can serve up different things for call to actions, depending on who those segments are. It's just very cool stuff. And to continue your question about, during, before, and after, before, during, and after, there are other obvious elements of providing transcripts, even, or taking your content and flipping it into a blog, or an ebook or something like that. Just having that automatically be generated. Another one that I really love, that I think is very cool, is visually providing a marketer essentially a heat map of your recording. Visually providing you with a heat map that actually visually shows you where the highest levels of integration on your event were. And that's metriced via audience engagement. So questions, annotations, chat, things like that all go into that algorithm to provide that. So you visually can see where the greatest hits are, but then even taking it one additional level of having the system automatically create snippets of those heat map points that you can then serve up back to those relative segments of your market.
Yes.
Not rocket science. It's just really smart. It's just, again, getting back to the helping you be more efficient and effective with your time.
And it's all integrated.
Boom. And it's all integrated.
It's all
right.
well, no, because here's
right.
the thing. You just touched on several things that we could probably riff on for a whole hour, and we won't. But let's just take that one, right? I don't even know. I can't even count the number of services that I see now where you can go upload a video and it will smartly detect little extractable moments from this video that like we could upload this video and it goes in and identifies 10 different places. 10 different places.
Deadlined if it did it on ours, but anyways, go ahead.
Right. And it will go auto extract little videos for the sake of uploading to social media, right? But that's just think about the time in your production workflow, right? As opposed to, we just did our webinar in On24 and it auto does it all within that space.
Why not have that be a part of the same platform?
Right. And so to me, there's probably two parts. One is an awareness of that kind of thing with regard to you thinking strategically as a marketer, going, I'm already thinking beyond interviewing Aaron to going, this 1 hour interview is going to serve some people who like long form content, and I don't even have to spend hours and hours and hours in some video editing program trying to extract little 30-second snippets of sound bites for social. I'm already ready to go. And to Aaron's point, because everything's driven now off of a transcript that now can easily and automatically be done. It's all driven in a way that allows you to go in and make intelligent choices, including, to Aaron's point, push a button and now we take that transcript and turn it into an ebook. Oh my goodness. Everybody's got AI, right? GoTo, WebEx, everybody's got some form of AI going on, but it's a whole lot more than just generating title ideas. It's actually just going to be transformative with regard to the nature.
It has the potential.
We think about strategically how we think about go-to-market.
Yep. And I think that starts to get into those higher levels of, yes, this is helpful, again, to your point, to be efficient with my time. And I could take this and drop my file into Camtasia, blah, 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 and find all that stuff and cut those. But it certainly is helpful to have all of that, again, be a part of a workflow that's already within a single platform. But that higher level of becoming better at my job because of the tools I am using, AKA artificial intelligence. So getting back to data, thinking through and finding ways that you are potentially lead scoring better, having that data tie into a larger CRM so that you've got one aggregate source of all of your data, being able to look at the lifetime relationship cycle of people that are attending your webinars, and even have that provide suggestions of content that might be relevant to that specific individual based on their history, based on their consumption. Again, it's not rocket science. And to your point, a lot of people have similar things. But in our world, it's pretty smart to have all of that be available in one ecosystem that you're building out your marketing design from, and having that all be something that you can then go to your boss or whoever it is, that, or even yourself when you're looking at yourself in the mirror in the morning and just saying, I am being better at my job because of the tools I am employing and I am using.
Here was just one of my experiences. So I don't know what it was, 6 weeks ago, 2 months ago, I went to the event here in Seattle, and Mark Bornstein says, "Hey, here's QR code where you can get the deck," and it was a killer event, killer food, by the way. But so I get home and I go to the site to get a copy of the deck. This is kind of their personalization at scale, and to me, this is kind of that where we begin to see that intersection of synchronous and asynchronous, right? So I actually I scan the little QR code to go to the place where I can grab the copy of the deck, and when it takes me to a website, there is our virtual venues logo in the upper left hand corner.
Pretty cool. Pretty cool.
And I mean, I'm not 22, and I didn't just get out of college, and didn't just fall off the turnip truck. I've been doing this a long dang time, and I still had this aha moment. Was like, oh yeah, so it wasn't just about the logo in the upper left hand corner, because now all of the little content panels down below, because it suggested content in, not only offered me the deck, but suggested a whole bunch of other content pieces, and it made this. And I'm going, and what I'm going to see is different than what Aaron would see, is different than what Jessica would see. And I'm like, oh, that is beautiful. All driven off of data, in a sense, collected at an event.
Right.
Before an event, during the event, after the event, whatever. And I'm like, oh, my friends, that is a whole new world of webinar.
Right.
And to be fair, that's one of the places they're leading, right? Because it's not just about, do I have a different way to launch a poll? It's a whole next level with regard to the nature of how engagement happens.